Well, thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much.
I really believe that Democrats just found the leader they weren't looking for. Mamdani has just impressed the whole world with a very successful meeting with President Donald Trump. And in all fairness, I have to be honest and fair. I think Trump did very well himself. He was very presidential, cordial, friendly. He looked happy and maybe even normal, if you will, right? That's not something we get to see every single day, from Trump. And as you can see, the press, they were trying to get something going right away to start some beef, right? They went straight to the most divisive rhetoric that both candidates had used, attacking one another during the campaign and so on. And they confronted Mamdani at some point with some of his remarks about Donald Trump being a fascist.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
It actually turned into one of the nicest exchanges you have ever seen between two political opponents, especially two that had been just like insulting one another, criticizing like heavily, very strongly criticizing one another just weeks ago, right?
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Mm-hmm. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Man, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. I was like kind of like pinching myself. Is this real? Am I awake? Actually, I don't know. A lot of people can't believe that this is happening, and a lot of people are questioning what's really going on behind the scenes. But let me say this. As you can see, this is why I'm saying that Democrats may have found a strong, commanding leader they weren't looking for. because everybody's so focused right now on Gavin Newsom and Pete Buttigieg or AOC or Josh Shapiro or J.B. Pritzker, and everybody is wondering who's going to be the next strong leader, the person who's going to maybe take us all the way to 2028 with a strong campaign and help us win also 2026. And most people are talking right now about Gavin Newsom. He has this whole campaign on Twitter, mimicking Trump's tweets and so on, and it's working. It's growing. He has definitely commanded leadership at this point. But we didn't have a strong leader for quite some time. And Gavin Newsom, kind of like filled the void right away. And he started combating, Trump, attacking Trump, using the same tactics. And it started getting under, Republican skin. And it was really working. It is working. It's still working. But what we're seeing right now is something different, because I don't think that any of these current leaders that we have, AOC, she's doing an amazing job, by the way, alongside, like Bernie Sanders, and Buttigieg continues to do a good job, and Josh Shapiro, all of them, they all are in their own lanes right now and doing a great job. Everybody was so focused on that. Like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be AOC or, Gavin Newsom? And then we get some recent polls, saying that actually it's going to be Kamala Harris. Like, and by the way, I wasn't expecting at all to see Kamala Harris at this point in time leading some of these recent polls. But the thing is that no one was expecting Mamdani to be in the Oval Office roughly 2 weeks after winning the New York, mayor race, let alone chatting with Donald Trump such a respectful, right, very respectfully and productively, as if they were old friends. But guys, as a lot of you, I was expecting Mamdani's meeting with Trump to be interesting and potentially a bit explosive. We've seen so many dramatic scenes at the Oval Office recently that I was kind of expecting a little bit of that. Maybe not as bad as with Zelensky, which was very unfortunate, right? But I did expect maybe a few tense moments here and there, maybe some highlights, a few jabs from both sides, trying to exert some dominance. Because we know, especially with Trump, he can be so unpredictable. And we're just getting to know Mamdani, so I expected him to be cordial, because this was, his first time meeting with the president, the Oval Office. So I expected him to be professional and cordial, but still maybe somewhat combative, standing his ground. And at the same time, Trump is not known to be friendly or ethical toward, political opponents. For instance, when he met with Congress leaders, like Schumer and Jeffries during the shutdown, or even before the shutdown, remember that he had this like MAGA, not a MAGA, it was like a Trump 2028 hat on his desk. A lot of people saw that as a clear provocation. Others would say, no, that was just a joke, maybe an apparent provocation. Still wasn't good, right? You're meeting a political opponent. You want them to feel welcome and to feel appreciated and respected. And just putting a hat with a Trump 2028, message, obviously challenging the Constitution, maybe signaling to dictatorship, maybe even as just an advanced message, telling them, we're meeting here, but I just want you to know that by wearing this hat that says Trump 2028, I'm not leaving, right? The thing is that the meeting with Mamdani was different than any other meeting, of Trump with any other Democrat in recent, times or even decades, right? The thing is that I believe the Democratic Party may have found a strong unifying leader, like I said at the beginning, they weren't looking for. A leader who can actually appeal to someone like Donald Trump, which is weird, because Mamdani is a Democratic, socialist, and Republicans hate that. Trump said some of the meanest, ugliest, meanest things about Mamdani during the campaign.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Could you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? We're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people he won't surprise them because they already like him.
What are we missing here? What's the catch? Something must be going on behind the scenes. What is Trump trying to do here? I'm not sure. I'm a little bit, I feel that this is a little bit suspicious. So I'm not 100% buying it, especially coming from Trump. I even have some people commenting on my Spanish YouTube channel. By the way, it's called Aranzamendi Podcast Español. So if you can visit it and support the channel, I'd appreciate it. And some people on my Spanish channel were saying that they believe Mamdani shouldn't meet Donald Trump. Like they thought it was a bad idea. But I disagree. You have to face these challenging moments and make the best out of them. If you aspire to lead a city, a state, or maybe even the country, who knows? Maybe Mamdani dreams. Maybe he's not saying it right now, but he may dream of leading the country at some point. You have to be a tough negotiator. It's not going to be easy. Your opponent is not going to make it easy for you. So coming into this meeting, which Mamdani requested, he challenged Donald Trump to accept it, and Trump did. Trump accepted it. And then performing this way gracefully, I really think, for whatever it's worth, since a lot of people believe this is not going to last, that it was just a formality, regardless, for whatever it's worth, to see a successful meeting happen right now in our country, I don't know, to me, it's a good thing. Mamdani, by the way, must be very happy. This meeting boosted his image tremendously. And that's why I'm saying, this is my personal opinion. You can tell me if you agree or not. This is why I'm saying that at a time when, we're hoping for Gavin Newsom or AOC or Kamala Harris or whoever, right? Someone to just become a strong leader for the Democratic Party. Mamdani, I guess, understood the mission and he delivered. He just, I don't know, came out of nowhere and filled that void in such an unexpected way. So anyway, let me wrap it up here. Please tell me what you think of this meeting. So let me know what you think, who was able to maybe impact more, like the public perception. Mamdani even got Fox News to say good things about this meeting. So that says a lot. That tells you probably everything you need to know about how it went, right? Or maybe you believe Trump actually did better than Mamdani, that Trump got the upper hand and somehow he just maximized this opportunity to maybe show a different side of him. He's being hammered every single day. Like, you're acting as Hitler, you're doing things as a fascist, as a dictator, an autocrat, and so on. So maybe he wanted to just show like a friendlier, more political side of him or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of it 100%. I'm still suspicious. The thing is that Mamdani came in saying he wanted to get some help, get the ball rolling and get some help for New Yorkers with the affordability crisis. And then he left the meeting with a commitment from Trump saying exactly that he was going to help him, that he loved, they both loved the city and they wanted to see it prosper and yada, yada, yada. But the thing is that Gavin Newsom hasn't been able to do that with Trump. We had the fires, right? Really sad, unfortunate fires in California. And what happened? Donald Trump went there. They met at the airport at some point. But then it was just like this whole fight and Trump was making up stuff. And Gavin Newsom was, just responding, saying like, he's lying. That's not true. He's lying about the firefighters. He's lying about, the water, whatever. And Trump was definitely making some stuff up. But the thing is that it was always tense and a lot of fight and back and forth. And Trump didn't want to release the funds to help him. And Gavin Newsom, I believe they even took him to court because of that or something. So that's a completely different way of doing things, right? Like Gavin Newsom hasn't been able to then just get into the Oval Office and have this super cordial meeting with Donald Trump. And I wonder if that's even possible at this point. Maybe they can. I don't doubt that Gavin Newsom is more than capable than sitting down. I don't think he's afraid or anything. He's actually way more than capable. Gavin Newsom is actually the candidate I believe should be the nominee, but it's too early. But he's doing a phenomenal job, and I think there's very few people that can do actually better than him. When it comes to debating, he's always so prepared. He dominates all the topics so well. You see how he literally mops the floor with Fox News, hosts whenever they're trying to catch him with all these gotcha questions. But anyway, Gavin Newsom hasn't been able to get Donald Trump to be this cordial and helpful even though Trump hasn't done a thing, he hasn't moved a finger yet. This was just like a cordial meeting. So we have to see down the line what this turns into. But still, when it comes to just the willingness to just, let's just meet and then, hey, man, you did great. I love your campaign. I believe you're very talented. I think you're actually going to do very good. These are all the things that Trump was saying to Mamdani. I believe that you did great. You beat a lot of like great candidates and even some intelligent, very smart people. We haven't seen that with any of the other candidates. Gavin Newsom hasn't done it. Neither has Kamala, nor Pete, nor JB, or any other. So I'm not saying Mamdani is going to be the Democratic nominee for 2028, right, to become president. But all I'm saying is that New York City, just to me right now, seems to be the beginning of a very successful political career for Mamdani. So well done, Mr. Mamdani. Well done. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, comment so you can support my work. And especially comment. I really want to read, how you feel about this whole situation. If you believe that this was honest, if you believe this was all formality and hypocrisy, and it's just going to fall apart within a couple of weeks once, Mamdani actually takes over. Let me know how you feel about it. I promise I'll respond to all the comments. I usually do. And don't forget, if you can support the channel, please subscribe. If you can also go and support Brian Tyler Cohen Espanol. Brian Tyler Cohen Espanol, just go subscribe. That will support our work a lot. And my Spanish channel too, Aranzamendi Podcast Espanol. So that's all for now. My name is Daniel Aranzamendi. You're watching the Aranzamendi Podcast, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Okay, take care.